Hello everybody, Maven here, and the Edge of Fate is finally here. We've waited so long, and traditionally, what we normally do on day one of release of any new season is we test out the exotic weapon and armor overhauls that Bungie announces in the recent TWID. We can get some good first impressions of how they are and what they do now, and brainstorm ideas on how we want to build around them moving forward. So expect to see a lot of new builds on this channel utilizing a lot of these overhauled exotics. So if that sounds like a good time to you, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Do not miss out, because there will be a lot of Edge of Fate content to come on the channel pretty much daily. So I hope to see you stick around for more. And now let's check out these overhauled exotics. Hope you enjoy. Shout out to our sponsor, Advanced GG, the #1 gaming supplement in the world. Use code MAVEN at checkout for 10% off. Link down below. Thank you. All right, so we are here in the Conflux Lost Sector to do our testing against good old Carl. Now, I was going to do my testing in the shooting range, the brand new shooting range that is capable of spawning Carl in it. However, I went there and come to find out, you don't actually get other tribes to test against until you unlock them. You only get sweeper bots by default. So that's a little bit of a questionable decision on Bungie's part, in my opinion, but it is what it is. So we're going to have to go back to the good old Conflux as per tradition. So we're going to be starting here on the Titan, starting off with the change that we got to the crest of Alpha Lupi. So now generating, or you can heal. You make a healing burst when you do sustained damage behind a barricade. Also, healing your allies grants barricade energy, which I'm solo right now, so I cannot test that, because who in the right mind is going to want to step away from the brand new expansion to come sit behind a barricade in the Conflux with me? So we're going to test out the healing behind a barricade and see how that does. So I have to take a little bit of damage here. Take some damage. All right, so we heal right off the bat as per usual. And then, okay, I healed a little bit. Healed a little bit. That's not bad. You heal pretty quickly. It's not a lot of healing. It's like 20 HP, but you know, it's healing. So I'll take it. And the fact that you're like, my barricade is already recharged. I wasn't paying attention to my barricade energy. I don't know how it already got recharged. It doesn't recharge when I heal. Well, it's recharging pretty fast. I don't know if that's just the changes to the stat system. But you don't even need to heal your allies to get your barricade back and chain it. See, look, my barricade is still up, still up, still up, still up. And pop another one. Boom. See? You can still chain infinite barricades back to back. You don't need to be healing your allies. So you can easily run this exotic solo just to like get the healing and survive better on Arc Titan. That's a nice thing to have, because Arc Titan typically doesn't really have many avenues of healing from a distance. You have to really get up close and proc knockout. So that's nice. I like this change. All right, next up we have the Phoenix Cradle. So now dealing sustained solar damage in a sunspot extends the duration of the sunspot. And also healing allies has a chance to create a sunspot at your feet. I believe it did have that ability before. Nobody really ever used the Phoenix Cradle, so I don't know, but you can bonk something, fit in a sunspot, and it basically just becomes a healing rift. So now you can just chill in your sunspot forever until you can no longer deal sustained solar damage, and you get restoration ×1 in it. So yeah, basically just a healing rift on Titan. So it's not too bad, but like, do you really want to be stationary on a Titan other than, you know, Storm's Keep? Like, do you really want to be stationary? That's why I still think the Phoenix Cradle will never see play. It just doesn't really fit the Titan playstyle, in my opinion. Especially for making sunspots, you're probably running around bonking stuff. And Phoenix Cradle basically says, no, don't bonk stuff anymore. You gotta chill. So yeah, not too big a fan. Okay, next up we have the Abeyant Leap. Let's go on over to Strand here and put on the Drenger's Lash. So also got to put on this, what is it called? Thread of Continuity. Because what I wanted to see, because they actually made Drenger's Lash, or the Abeyant Leap, they made it so your suspend lasts longer. And also it tracks better, so that's nice. But it lasts longer. And then they also buffed the amount that Thread of Continuity makes your suspend last longer. So if you pair these two like duration buffs together, how long will suspend last? That's what I'm curious of. Will they be suspended for literally like 15 seconds? That's what I want to find out. So gotta wait for our class ability to recharge here. All right, let's fly over here and suspend Carl. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so about 8 seconds. That's not too bad. That's a lot of duration, and the tracking supposedly is better. So a Bane Leap has always been good. It's just nobody ever used it because, you know, melee builds existed on Titan. So Bane Leap kind of took to the sidelines, but I think it's good, and I think it has the potential to see play, especially with Strand being meta this season because of the artifact. So we'll see. All right, final Titan exotic change. This is the Actium War Rig, and this is the buff that I'm the most excited for. This here's actually the build that I'm going to start my Edge of Fate journey on. I'm going to do a build on it probably tomorrow, like a full video, because this buff is actually crazy. I haven't even tried it yet, and I know it's crazy. So steadily reloads a portion of your auto rifle. That's normal. Final blows with auto rifles or machine guns boost their stability, ammo generation, and damage. I assume the ammo generation is the meter at the bottom of your HUD there. You see those 2 ammo meters like below my heavy weapon? I think it means that. I don't think it's referring to the amount of the first perk here where auto and machine gun magazines reload from reserves. If it does affect that, that's even better. But I don't think it's that. And also, their damage is improved upon final blows. So I believe it's going to be a meter system like the Verities, or, you know, we'll find out right now. And also, Tommy's matchbook, by the way, just got a buff as well. We're going to test it out in a second. Actually, we can test this here right now. So final blows with this weapon now cure you. And also they increase like your health regen when you hip fire. So this got a really, really nice buff. And the combo of these two together is awesome. Like I said, I'm going to do a full video on it probably tomorrow or sometime in the next couple days. So make sure to subscribe if you don't want to miss out on that, because this is crazy. See, look at that. Look at that. Look at that auto loading link on the left side of your screen. So I'm right. It was sort of like Verities or Worm God, where it's just like, okay, oops, didn't mean to do that. I'm trying to get a restoration here for Ember of Empyrean. And now I get like insanely buffed damage, and I should smelt Carl here. Yep, getting ignitions as Tommy's normally does. And I'm gonna get a big cure ×2 because that's a yellow bar. Nope. Still cure ×1. But yeah, that healing is nice. I don't even have restoration going right now. It ran out, but still, I'm able to stay alive regardless. So you can use this on like Rain of Fire Warlock and just like Icarus dodge to like reload your Tommies. Like, this is amazing. I think this is an extremely good combo, and I'm probably going to be rocking this in the legendary campaign, to be completely honest. This is so good. But we should probably test. Oh, you see that ignition trigger? You saw that? Like, rewind the video. Look at the ignition trigger at the bottom of the screen. But what I want to test is how much damage this auto-loading link does. And this would probably be like a... This sweeper bots would probably suffice in the shooting gallery to be able to test this. But that auto-loading link appears to be going down in like variables, like chunks at a time. See that? It's not like going down in one smooth motion. It's like going chunk by chunk. And each bit of that, I'm sure the data compendium probably has this updated by now. But we're going to see our base damage here against Carl. All right, so our base damage is 16 to the body. And when we fully ramp it up, okay, so I have to actually kill things. So it was 16. I need more, but I gotta not get an unstable essence. Okay. One more. There we go. To 18. Really? That's it? 16 to 18? What is that, like a 10% buff? About 10%, maybe 15%. Okay, well, it's definitely not to Peacekeeper levels, because Peacekeeper gives you a 1000 or not 1000, a 100% damage buff. Literally doubles your SMG damage, and this is only 10%, so not the best. So it looks like each stack of autoloading link gives you 1%, or maybe like 1.5%. So something is still better than nothing though. So I will absolutely take that. I still think this is an amazing combo with the buffs of both of these things put together. And my ammo meter, look at my ammo meter. They're like both pretty much full. So the ammo generation on the Actium build is also going to be incredible for like spamming your heavy and your special. So that's awesome. I like this. All right, we are moving on to Warlock, and we're starting off with the Starfire Protocol. And do I even need to show this one? Because I'm sure by the time you're watching this video, you've already been using this for hours. Everybody's probably going to be using this because it's the most OP buff we got. Like, this thing is going to be insanely meta. So now you get your fusion grenades charged on radiant damage, so you no longer have to be chilling in an empowering rift. You can just walk around with radiance, which you can get with Ember of Torches, or even this new artifact mod called Fever and Chill, wherever it may be. Where is it? Fever and Chill. So rapid precision hits with solar weapons make you radiant, and then you can just extend it forever with Ember of Empyrean and just get fed tons of grenade energy, and you can even become radiant. You can even get Devour with like the, you know, that rocket sidearm that gives Devour. So let's see. I'm radiant. Let me throw away my nades. And I'm not even, look at that. I'm not even using Demolitionist. I am literally just using my heal clip incandescent roll. This is so broken, man. Like, this is gonna be like easily the meta. Like, I'm considering launching into doing the day one raid on this and not Titan. I'm a Titan main, but this is just insane, man. This is just too good. Like, this is not gonna sit with Bungie. Like, they are gonna nerf this. Like, this is, yeah, look at that. That's not even my demo roll. That's a heal clip roll, and I was getting that amount of grenade energy. Like, that is ridiculous, man. Like, I guarantee you, if you inspect everybody on your roster, they're gonna have this equipped. I guarantee it. Like, that's nutty. But let's go ahead and move on to our next exotic. There is the Wings of Sacred Dawn. While you have a solar super equipped aiming weapons, while your midair suspends you. Okay, so you no longer, it doesn't say that you have to be on Daybreak anymore. So you can be on Song of Flame or Well of Radiance and use this, which is awesome, especially for Crucible. Because I'm not really much of a Daybreak user in Crucible. You are more resistant to incoming damage and combatants are less accurate. That's right, that was like the Manticore perk they gave it. Weapon hits extend the effect's duration, and solar weapon final blows grant restoration and reload your other weapons from reserves. So what I wanted to see, I'm going to have to go over to dim here on my other monitor. So I wanted to see how this interacts with the Devil's Ruin, because this also got a rework. So now final blows make fire sprites. Picking up a fire sprite allows you to do a special reload that allows you to do your little laser beam. But I want to see if this can be cheesed. I want to see if you can essentially cheese this special reload, because this auto reloads weapons when you get final blows while aiming down sights airborne. And it says right there, and reload your other weapons from reserves. Reload your other weapons, but I thought it reloaded your equipped weapon. At least that's how it was. That's how it was when they updated it last season in episode Heresy. I remember trying it out in that one dungeon from the Cosmodrome. The one with all the trolls. You know what I'm talking about. So let's see how the Devil's Ruin performs, because we got to test this as well. Fire Sprite. Special reload. Look at that. It's real fast. Not too bad. People are complaining this is like a gigantic nerf. And wait, the Fire Sprite cooldown is so quick. Can you chain it? Yeah, look at that. Chain Fire Sprite. This is actually like not too bad. I know people are complaining, but now let's try going airborne with it. I guess suspended. Give me the fire sprite. That should reload. No, it doesn't cheese it. It does not cheese it, but it did give me restoration in the air for 3 seconds. 3 seconds of restoration when you get a solar weapon kill airborne. Decently strong. It made an ignition. It made an ignition. Wow. Straight up causes an ignition now. The Devil's Ruin is pretty good. Pick up a fire sprite and just like ignite something. I like this a lot. I can see myself using the Devil's Ruin like unironically. But the Wings of Sacred Dawn, not so much. I think it may be interesting in Crucible. I have always thought that the Wings of Sacred Dawn was an underrated Crucible exotic, but we'll see how it pans out. I'm definitely going to give it a try, but I don't think there's really much that can replace the transversive steps, but we'll see. Okay, next up there is the Fellwinter's Helm, which we don't really have to try because now it just creates the weaken effect on powered melee hits instead of on final blows. It also does it on final blows, but it also does it on hits, so we don't really need to try that. And something I was curious about with this is how it interacts with Cauterized Darkness. Because Stasis or Strand debuff, non-boss combatants take increased solar damage from all sources. So does the weaken from the Fellwinter stack with the debuff from Cauterized Darkness? And you can do that in a single melee with like the needle on like Strand or the freeze on the Ice Flare, the Penumbral Blast. If you can like stack those two together and just get like a 30% like ridiculous debuff for just landing a melee hit. But we can't test that yet because obviously season just launched and I don't have enough artifact unlocks to get Cauterized Darkness. I'm gonna have to turn in my other bounties on my other characters, which I have not yet done. So we can't really test that out, but let's move on to our next exotic here, which is the Prometheum Spur. While a solar super is equipped, weapon final blows grant class ability energy. Defeating targets with weapons with your weapon while standing in a rift creates a pulse that grants radiant to you and nearby allies. So that's in a healing rift. When you're in an empowering rift, you instead grant cure. So I just wanted to see the class ability gains, and I wanted to pair that with a weapon that has that one perk. What is it called? A strategist that grants you class ability energy. So I'm gonna go to Dim real quick and grab me one of those. I believe I have one on my Titan here. So let's grab the Lotus Eater, because I have strategist on this that is enhanced. So should grant, I think, 12% or 11% class ability on final blows. And then I have my class stat is, where's my class stat? 68. So it's not quite to normal, but I gotta get some ammo, which should drop from the first thing I kill because that's how the game works. Okay, let me use my class ability. Look at that. That's a lot. Almost just 3 kills. 3 kills to get my class back. That is a lot of class ability energy. So that should be like a pretty easy way to ensure that you have Infinite Hellion. That's like definitely a guaranteed way to have Infinite Hellion right there. And then you can get Radiant in a Healing Rift and Cure in a Empowering Rift. So that's not too bad, but that's definitely not gonna outclass the Starfire Protocol. There's no shot anyone's gonna pick the Prometheum Spur over the Starfire. So unfortunately, it's still gonna be a piece of trash. And unless the Starfire gets nerfed into the ground, the Prometheum Spur will always continue to be a piece of trash. There's no doubt about it. Plus, it's easy enough to have Infinite Hellion because of the Ember of Singeing, the one that makes your class ability recharge faster when you scorch targets. That is easy enough to chain just with Hellion alone. Like, you need nothing else but that plus Singeing and you already have Infinite Hellion. So not too useful. But now let's take a look here at the Geomax stabilizers. So we're gonna have to dump a bunch into our super stat here. We gotta get our super to 100. Where's our super? Where is it? Oh, it's right there. It's only at 25. I definitely need to invest a lot more super stat here to be able to test this out, because People think that that the Geomags got nerfed because they reduced the amount of energy that you get from ionic traces. But you actually get more if you have 100 super stat, because every source that would give you super energy gives you even more than normal past tier 7. So at 100 super stat, you should be gaining more than before. But also they made it so when you were at 5 stacks of bolt charge, you can sprint to top off your bolt charge, and they quartered the amount of time it takes to be able to get a stack when you sprint. So right when you're at 5, it should just be like basically instant. So I think it's going to be very, very, very good. I still think, like, despite the fact that there's no like arc support in like specifically in the artifact mods this season, I think this will still be like a top tier build and very, very worthy of being used in the day 1 raid. And there's a lot of generalized artifact mods that apply to like every subclass that you can still use to benefit with arc. I need to get some special ammo here real quick. All right, I put on some jank failsafe armor just to get my super to 100 so we can test it out to see just like how much faster we're going to be getting our super. Also, when you pump up your super stat to like 200, it's going to make your supers do like, what, 40% more damage than they used to. So that with Geomags is just going to be extremely nutty and day 1 raid worthy. And something I noticed when collecting ammo for my Warlord Spears, it's a lot less than before. I was getting 75 ammo per brick. In episode Heresy, I was getting like almost 300 per brick. So I don't know if that's a bug, but Bungie, please fix that, because that cannot be intended. That's just not enough for a trace to be able to function. You can only fire it for like 3 seconds before it's out with 75 ammo. So yeah, also let's take a look at our bolt charge and also our super gains at the same time here, so we can sprint to top off our bolt charge and see how fast it goes. So I'm gonna go ahead and waste my super here and melee this guy. I got launched up in the air. Give me that. So the ionic trace gave me about the same amount of super as before, but my bolt charge, look, my bolt charge is at 5, and now 7, 9, 10, and it's ready. So fast, just super, super quick. And then ionic traces, there's 1. Watch my super. About the same as before. But I can just put up there's 2 of them coming at me. Put up a arc buddy, and now that's just gonna run around and making ionic traces for me. Pumping up my bolt charge, causing these jolts of lightning everywhere, which aren't buffed by flashover, like by like 150% damage like before. But it's still something, and I think it's still good. Nearly that guy. My bolt charge is at 6, 8, 10. And I can punch that guy, get a bolt charge off. Really, really good. My super is like almost full already. Almost full. I can just shoot a couple dudes here, top it off. And it's full. Look at that. Geomag build still carrying, dude. Still carrying. I'm telling you, like, this build is still top tier. Like, if you are an Arc Warlock player, don't have any like doubts about your build. It's still just as strong, if not stronger. Actually, as a matter of fact, 40% stronger than it was before. If your super stat is at 200, which would be pretty hard to attain, because look at all of this like high stat super, and like still my supers. I guess I could use more super on my Geomags. I'm gonna have to get a new one, but yeah, it's not out of the realm of possibility. I think still very, very good. All right, we are moving on to Hunter. And we're starting off with the Oath Keepers, one of my personal faves I'm excited for. So now there's a 50% damage buff when it's at max stacks, and you get a bigger benefit earlier in the draw. I'm going to test it out much more thoroughly in a video that I have planned this week, hint, hint. So hope you stay tuned for that. We're going to test it out just with the accrued redemption for now. But when I do the full video, we're going to test out like all kinds of like exotic bows to see how it like performs with a bunch of different things. But for now, we're just going to get a general idea of how it functions. So without any buff, I do 385 to the body. And when I fully amp it up, 1055. So now earlier in the draw, I should get a pretty big benefit, such as 1055 there. 604, literally double damage just for 1 stack. Halfway through, 1055 for only halfway through and also at max. Like, that's actually ridiculous. Like, halfway charge is already max damage. 891 for like 40%. This is actually like really good, guys. I'm telling you. Can't wait to do that full video on it because this is one of my personal favorite exotics. Like, it's very under the radar, but I love it. And I mained it in Crucible back in the day. And then I also this is my main Gambit exotic, believe it or not, because I use it with the Leviathan's Breath. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next one. And the next one will be the Kepri's Sting. So defeating a weakened target releases a burst of weakening smoke that refunds smoke bomb energy. I want to see just how much smoke bomb energy. I was going to make sure I got undermining to get weakening nades going. So then if you also on top of that have momentum transfer, which I do not have here. Let me put on momentum transfer. Causing damage with a grenade reduces your melee cooldown. So let's go ahead and throw smoke and see how much smoke energy we get back. Kill him. Almost half. Almost half. And then grenade. Yeah, literally like almost half your energy. And then I can do like smoke bomb dive. Boom. They didn't die, but I can punch them. Boom. Because they're weakened. And get like a ton of energy back. Punch that guy. Hit that guy with my bow. So yeah, not too bad. I actually quite like that. I could see that being a way to spam a bunch of smoke bombs in Crucible. Even though they did get like Omega nerfed, this will allow you more usability of smoke bombs. If you have like I only have oh no, my melee stat is 100, so I am getting the maximum benefit there. But I kind of like that. I feel like there's going to be a niche use that I'll be able to find out of that and make a build out of that in the future. We'll see what I come up with. And next up, we have the Mask of Backers here. So let's go on over to Stasis, because now what this does is it's basically like what the Path of Burning Steps was for Solar. So when you dodge, when you do your little shifty dodge, you get a stacking arc weapon damage buff and final blows. Extend that, or final blows with this bonus active. Refund class ability energy. So we're gonna want an arc or a stasis weapon here. Do I have arc? Okay, I have a Trinity Ghoul. So let's try Trinity Ghoul. All right, let's get on over here to some ads. Do our life shift. 395 damage is stacking. Oh wait, my dodge is back. Yo, look at my dodge energy. Look at my dodge. I can just spam it. Yo, this is gnarly. This is gnarly. Hold up, dude. This is crazy. And I get 30% bonus damage. 30% bonus damage. Oh, wait, I'm not even using arc. There we go. And I don't have it active anymore. I can dodge there. That's an insane... I was not expecting it to give you back like 90% of your dodge energy. Actually, my class ability energy right now, where is it? Is only 80. If it was at 100... it will probably give you back your full dodge charge. So let me go ahead and pump up my class ability stat here to 100, because when it's at 100, I have a feeling. Okay, it's at 100 now. I have a feeling it'll be a guaranteed like full recharge. So we're gonna have to hit Carl a bit here. Okay, spawn some ads. Nope, not a full recharge, but it's close. It's like a kill and a half. So, if you used, like we tested earlier on Warlock, remember with the strategist weapon? If you used a strategist weapon that is arc or stasis, you would get a full charge back on a final blow, and you'd be able to just like chain these life shift dodges. And this in Crucible, especially with like a weapon like the Trespasser or the Unending Tempest, this is gonna be disgusting. You're gonna be chaining backwards dodges everywhere and be an annoying, sneaky rat. And that's gonna be just so much fun. I can't wait to try that out, dude. That's gonna be cool. Okay, next up we have the Dragon Shadow. So I'm very excited about this buff. So now it will, the most important thing that I care about here is it will now increase your stability. It doesn't look like they updated the text on it, or maybe it's now considered a hidden buff. But this is going to be huge for controller players for Crucible, because it just statically, with doing nothing, improves your stability of your weapon. And when you dodge, it increases it further. So I have here a Criminal's Dagger, and this is going to be controller right here. So I'm just going to like shoot this wall. But first, for comparison, I should probably do it without the Dragon Shadow so we can see the difference. So here's with no Dragon Shadow. Let's see how far on this wall my gun climbs. And by the way, this is 57 stability. So it climbs like halfway up this wall and recoils, making a kick to the right. All right, so now when I put on the Dragon Shadow, yo, that's really good. That's literally like half. It climbed literally about half the distance. So if I had to guess, does it like actually put it on the gun here? It doesn't. Like, that'd be really cool if the API, if like the way the game worked is when you get a stat buff, it like actually like puts like a green little section here that shows that it's buffing the stat and by how much, because it'd be nice to know. But I think this is far surpassing my expectations. I thought it'd be stupid, like 5 stability. But to me, just based off my expertise of years of playing this game, I would say that looked to be around 10 bonus stability, maybe 15. I would say like about 15, possibly even 20. But yeah, but it increases it further if you dodge. So now let's dodge and shoot the wall. Yo, that's like not even moving. That's like not even moving. I swear, I'm not even controlling. I'm not even controlling that. Okay, dude, that might be 15. That might be 15 static and then 15 more when you dodge. So like 30 more stability, putting this thing to 87, because that was not moving. If not 20, because if that was 97 stability, I wouldn't even question it. That like didn't even move. Okay, I'm telling you right now, this is my new main Crucible exotic when I use semi-auto weapons like hand cannons or pulse rifles. This is going to be what I use. And if you're a controller player, you should too, because that's like incredible. Finally, at long last, this thing's meta once again after what, 5 years since it was last meta. So very, very, very hyped about this. Thank you, Bungie. This is what we needed. This is really what we needed. Okay, well, next up here we have speed loader slacks. I've always been like a fan of this thing. It's very niche. It doesn't actually provide you any like value, but it's like fun to use. Makes your weapons feel good and reload very, very fast. But now, dealing sustained damage grants class ability energy. And that could be good on Strand, because we can get our little clones. So let's go ahead and put on our Threat of Specters. Could also be good on Stasis for the Winter Shroud or whatever. Could also be good on Arc for Ascension. But I think with the clones should be pretty interesting. I'm gonna need to get some energy here for my grenade launcher. It's an area denial frame, so it'll deal damage over time. So I'll be able to gauge like how much like the sustained damage refunds class ability energy, but it looks like I didn't even refresh the lost sector, so I will be right back. And let's go ahead and dodge by Carl, set up a clone, and then blast him. And look at the class ability coming back. And another clone. More, and another clone. Shoot him with another thing. Sustained damage, and another clone. Yo! We're literally Naruto right now. We are literally Naruto. You don't have to like, there's no conditions. It's literally just straight up damage. Straight up damage will cause us to proc. That's actually like not too bad. I could see this being a cool survivability build, because like those clones are basically like pseudo invisibility, you know? But it looks like after you place 3 of them, it looks like they go away. And it seems to be like only weapons sustain damage. But yeah, I like that. It feels like strategist weapons. I keep on, like in this video, I brought up strategist weapons. This is like my 3rd time, but it feels like strategist is like a perk that is seemingly more valuable than it previously was. It feels like there's more implications with it when it comes to build crafting, because there's like a lot of these buffs that a lot of these exotics got are like based around like refunding class ability energy, and strategist just synergizes with that perfectly. So yeah, maybe go get yourself a Lotus Eater with strategist destabilizing. All right, we finished going over the exotic armor, and now let's go over some exotic weapons. We already went over the Devil's Ruin earlier and also the Tommy's Matchbook. So now let's move on to the hierarchy of needs. So this thing now, when you put up the guidance ring, apparently it moves around with you. I don't think it's gonna like move as you walk, but I think it's gonna like rotate to where you turn. So that's kind of what it does. So let's see how that functions. Also, they increase the duration of it too. Wait, I just got 1 kill and I got 2 stacks of guidance ring. Didn't it used to take 6 kills to charge your guidance ring and 1 kill just charge 2 out of 3? Since when did they reduce it to 3? So you only need 2 kills now? Wait. There it is. Now it's up. And it's rotating. It's rotating to where I'm looking. You see that? It's turning with me. Does it move with me? No. So they basically gave it billboarding. For those who don't know, billboarding is a game term, like in like game development. It's when there's an object that no matter where the camera is facing, it always like aligns to where the camera is. So you will never see the side of this ring. I will never, no matter where I go, I will never see the side of this ring because it is billboarding. It will always remain like the same frame it is, you know, like facing me. So you can now like turn around and shoot behind you. I guess that's a benefit, but also it's like charged extremely fast. Only 3 stacks, and it only takes 2 kills to like proc it. And apparently it has like insane draw time, still like it did before. And like, I don't remember it looking like this. I remember it looking the way it does because I remember it was like a lot more aggressive. I don't even need to get kills. I can just get precision hits and I can just keep on moving around, placing it where I go. Like, it's very efficient. It's very, very efficient. So yeah, it's cool. It just still doesn't seem like super, super strong. I could be wrong, but like, I'm sure it'll still be like Grandmaster viable if we ever get like a bow champion mod for it. I'm excited to try that out, especially on Oathkeeper Hunter, which we will test out in that video. So we'll see how it goes. But right now, first impressions, I think it has promise. Definitely has some promise to it. Well, let's move on to our next exotic here, which is DMT. So DMT now, stacks of cranial spike is going to increase its damage by 3.4% and also refund around into the magazine. And I think this is going to do wonders for its DPS, seeing as how mine has 4th times a charm. So now you're going to be getting like 3 volleys of 3 shots refunded to you instead of like just 4. And I can already see it doing way more damage compared to most things. 621, 643, 659. Still does like good hip fire damage. 890 or whatever. $263. Getting all this ammo funded. Whoa! Did you see that when I reloaded? Look when I reload. Look when I reload. Look. Look at that. It just insta reloads. What the heck? Okay, what if I have 0 stacks of cranial spike? Okay, it's only 2. So it actually, when you have stacks of cranial spike, it affects the number of shots reload. See, I reloaded 3 instead of 2 there with 1 stack of cranial spike. So it just makes you reload like instantly. This is actually a very, very welcoming change. I don't believe they announced this, but that's actually amazing because now one of the big pain points of DMT was that it was always like painfully slow to reload, but now it's like ridiculously fast. It's actually like faster than most scouts. They instantly made it from one of the slowest to one of the fastest. Just insta reload. You don't have to be on a hunter with marksman dodge anymore, and it'll do like heavy damage. So I like that a lot, actually. The DMT may be back on the menu, but the problem is, are you really going to use it over a scout that has kinetic tremors? So that's my thing, is kinetic tremors is just such a good perk. Is that we really use this? We'll see. Could put in the work in like Grandmaster Nightfalls though. See what else we got here. Monte Carlo. This one I wanted to test because the last time we used it, it was with the Worm God Caress. So the Monte Carlo got changed. So now, normally when you use your glaive mode and you shanked something with it, it would do like full damage to like red bars, but it would do reduced damage to bosses, like mini bosses and like majors. But now, no such thing. It'll do full damage. And okay, so I got max stacks of Burning Fist. And I'm gonna pop my glaive. And this is 4 stacks of Burning Fist. Boom. That did way less than normal. That did way less than it should have. That did more before. Okay, glaive mode. That's doing less than before. I have Burning Fist. I have Burning Fist. That should have done way more. Okay, that's actually a nerf. That is literally a nerf. Okay, I'm a little bit disappointed about that. Go ahead and sit in a sunspot here. Pull out our next thing to try out, which should be the duality. They changed it so now before you would have to like get final blows. You'd have to get final blows, or you would have to land shots or whatever with your hipfire mode in order to no, it was get hipfire. Yeah, I was get hipfire final blows to be able to charge a stack of on black wings. And duality was actually like a pretty underrated gun, because when you had 5 stacks of on black wings, your thing, I think it did like triple damage. Like it hit ridiculously hard in slug mode and just annihilated things. But the problem was that, you know, it was kind of sluggish being a slug, no pun intended. But I wanted to see if I'd get 2 stacks of on black wings for hitting my pellets against Carl. Nope, just 1. Just 1. And then do 1482 to the head. So still just 1 stack, so not really that insane. The duality still unfortunately going to be trashed here. Nobody's ever going to use it. But I believe we still have more to test out here. Get the Heart Shadow. So the Heart Shadow now, like the heavy attack, it used to consume 4 ammo, but now it only consumes 3. And apparently kills against a weakened target will make you invis. So now when I emerge from shot in the dark, I should go invis. And look at that. I am now invis again. And I am now invis again. So you can chain invis forever. So that's awesome. Because you get the ability to chain invis forever on like something like a, I guess, stronghold build on Titan. But Hunter really had no problems having infinite invis anyways because of like Stylish Executioner. But you know, maybe that could be interesting, like if you wanted to use a sword in Crucible, because you can like get 2 guaranteed kills with it. You know, kill 1 guy, consume 3 ammo, because I believe you get 6 ammo in Crucible. So you can just like go invis and just like do a light attack on somebody, emerge, and then go invis again. What other exotics do we have here to test out? The World Line 0. So now, while sprinting with full energy to launch a heavy blink attack, you can no longer chain blink attacks, by the way. Defeating a target with this attack will allow it to immediately be used again. So before you'd be able to just launch it twice back to back in a row, and then you'd have to wait. But now you can only do it once in a row, but if you kill something with it, you can do it again and again and again and again, and just basically chain entire rooms to death. And you got Tireless Blade for ammo conservation, so it's meant to be like an ad clear sword. But I still don't think this thing will be meta. I gotta go get some ammo for it real quick. All right, so I have 43 ammo here. And if all goes according to plan, I should be able to just chain from enemy to enemy to enemy and just like keep on sprinting all over the room. So you sprint for a second, boom, and you get temporal sprint buff on the bottom left of your screen. There's one. And it didn't work there. So you have to actually like wait for your charge because I killed something with it and it's not coming back up. There it is. It lunges pretty far. But temporal sprint is taking a while to come back up. Can I reach that enemy from there? Oh yeah, no problem. Can I get it back again? And it's just, it doesn't let me chain it. I actually have to like have charge. There you go. I can chain it twice. That's not how they said it worked. That is not working as advertised. And it's like not coming back. Like if you fail it, you gotta wait for your entire charge. So wait, it's literally Bungie, did you forget to fix this? I can chain it twice like before, but I can only chain it once. I don't think they applied the patch to this because isn't that how it worked before? Okay. Yeah, consider this my bug report because I don't think that's how it's supposed to be working now. But, that's how it's working now. So, yeah. All right, well, let's see what else we got here. Do we have anything else to test? Wicked Implement got updated, so now it is a 260 RPM. And it's still, creeping attrition still works the same. Now, to compensate for its rate of fire, it now takes one more shot to be able to proc. Still has headstone. And one big fail this thing should have got a long time ago, like it still doesn't have, is collective action, because this thing creates a stasis shard that yeets across the world to you. So if that's the case, it should have collective action to synergize with that, but it doesn't. Tithing Harvest, while creeping attrition is active, destroying stasis crystals or landing precision final blows creates a stasis shard. Yeah, that is the shard that I was talking about. So this thing has always been like fringe, like pretty good, underrated. You know, it feels pretty cool now that it has like faster rate of fire, but I still don't think that's going to change a thing about its viability. But funny enough, 260 RPM scouts are the highest DPS frame of scouts. Freeze that guy in literally like a couple shots. Freeze that guy, like it only takes like 6 shots to freeze something. So it got improved to the highest DPS scout archetype, so that's not too bad. And when it comes to stasis builds, and especially the Cadmus Ridge Lance Cap, I think is the exotic that synergizes the most by far with this exotic, like in the entire game. I think it's going to be like pretty good. And I think that's going to be like the only situation in which you're going to actually want to use this is with the Cadmus Ridge Lance Cap. Other than that, I don't really know about this thing. So it's pretty niche, but it's okay. All right, so there you have it for all of our Edge of Fate exotic overhaul tests. My voice is killing me after all that talking. So which was your favorite? Let me know. Ones that I'm the most excited for, probably Dragon Shadow is awesome. Oathkeepers I'm excited for. Crest of Alpha Lupi, honestly, could be pretty big. I think Crest of Alpha Lupi is going to be like maybe even decent for like raids, to be able to like just put a barricade down for DPS, and like the sustained damage behind it is going to heal all your allies and allow you to start stacking barricades. Although they did nerf the interaction when barricade stack, it no longer gives you a ridiculous amount of bolt charge. That it'll only be counting one barricade at a time, but still I think it's going to be pretty good. And I will be covering this build in a future video coming up pretty soon. Also, I think obviously the Starfire Protocol is like the most broken change of the day. Devil's Ruin seems interesting. Tommy's Matchbook seems pretty good. I'm excited to have that that Actium Warrig build going. This is definitely the one I'm going to start the campaign on because this build is awesome. Going to be covering it soon. So let me know, what was your favorite? What are you looking for? What are you looking forward to the most? If I missed anything, let me know. And again, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. Got a lot of Edge of Fate content on the way. I literally spent the past couple weeks preparing a bunch of videos to be released this week, and those will be coming pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you're having fun with the new expansion. I will be soon as this video ends, and I will catch you in tomorrow's video. See you then.